you're in peak Danny mode, aren't you? Peak Danny right now at this tender age of 34,
33.
33.
Not 34 yet.
Soon.
Yeah, very soon in November, end of November. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fit, strong, and just making sure that I'm in the best shape possible as can be. Going to training, going to the weekend at games, and I'm feeling good. Long may it continue.
Is this the best place that you've been in your career in terms of what you're getting out of it?
Well, it's hard because I think on the pitch I've played, more games for Brighton now than any other club. So, if you look at it in terms of like playing the games and that sort of stuff, yeah. But every single place that I've been, I've learned so much, and I think at United, obviously coming through there with the players, the calibre of players that you're coming through with, and the sort of mentality that's drilled into you from a young kid, and then making it into the first team, it's amazing to play with the players that I played with there. And then to go to Arsenal, and it was kind of different because I'm a Manc, I'm a Manny boy, and then you're moving out of Manny, you're going to London, but you experience so much new things. And I was kind of really unfortunate with injuries there. Got some really big injuries there, and it was difficult to deal with. But going through that tough process definitely helped me as a person now, on and off the pitch. And so I look back at my time at them clubs with fond memories.
I've seen interviews that you've done in the past, one particularly when you joined Brighton, and I know it was short term at the start, when you say you don't look back, you only ever look forward. Has that always been you?
Yeah, I think it's always been me. And I think, as I've touched upon with Arsenal, when I had a lot of injuries, I think you kind of build that mentality that you can either, like sit and cry about it and mope about the unfortunate things that have gone wrong, or you can like crack on and get on with trying to get back to the best shape possible, and trying to improve and trying to see a little bit of positivity in the negative.
Are you impatient?
Depends.
Or do you have how much patience do you have? Because it takes a long time. It took you a long time, didn't it, to recover and get back?
It's not easy. Not easy at all. Especially my last injury at Arsenal. So my first two were knees, and they were long-term knee injuries. And then my last one was a fracture dislocation of my fibula right ankle, and that was tough because you're having the surgeries, and then like I don't know, like if you actually see my ankle in them early stages, you're looking at it, you're thinking
that's not going to work again.
It's completely different. And then you've got like a titanium plate down the side of your ankle, which stays in there. So it was difficult because you're back from the injury, but you also you've got a foreign body and an object in your ankle, which it didn't feel right. It didn't sit right with me. So there'll be times where I'm maybe trying to turn and go that way, and it was just it inhibits you really. And then I got that taken out, and then it's been really good since then.
You touched on what you learnt at Manchester United and Arsenal. Can you talk a little bit about then what it gave you in how you've become the character, the personality, the player that you are now? What things did you pick up on the most?
Well, I have to thank even just my academy coaches at Manchester United, because they drill into you from the moment that you walk through the doors as an under-9s player, we're here to win. So you're here to win, and that's the sort of mentality that I've had. You train as best as you can, because come the weekend, you want to be in the best shape possible, to win the game. I remember training sessions at United when you get into the first team. Them sessions were actually harder than the games that we'd be playing at the weekend, because it was so intense. Nobody wanted to lose. So instilling that culture, that mentality in your head that in training, you don't want to lose a training game.
Who pushed you the most?
In
In those
as a
training
player,
games, yeah.
well, it was everyone. It was a culture throughout the whole club, and that derived from the manager, Sir Alex. And yeah, he instilled that culture within the club, trickled down to the training sessions, and we wanted to win every single training session game. Never mind just the matches at the weekend.
Who was the worst trainer at that time?
Are
they still playing?
No, they're not.
You can say them.
Nah.
No.
We're in a WhatsApp group, and
I'm still in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, there'll be a few people that won't be happy if I mention their name.
I bet the former Man United player WhatsApp group is insane.
It is good. It's good. I don't want to touch upon it too much, but
do you contribute a lot to it?
Well,
you yourself?
Everybody plays a part. Sometimes there's people that, I don't know, it's just a lot of banter. We talk about football.
Okay,
and a lot of banter.
fair enough. I know you're not going to tell me a lot about it. Who's in charge of it though? There must be one player who's in charge. Admin. Who's admin?
I think it might be Rio. You know, he just chats, doesn't he? You know what he's like? He just chats and chats.
He likes talking.
Oh, he likes it. He loves it, and I think he's making a career out of talking now. So,
yeah.
But we give him a lot of stick too.
So we're recording this on the 1st of October, and on this day, 10 years ago, you were scoring a hat-trick against Galatasaray for Arsenal. And I know that you talked about the setbacks and the injuries, and it didn't go to plan as you wanted it to do, but you've done, I mean, that in itself, you've done so much.
Yeah. It's a nice memory to look back on.
You've got loads of memories though, surely to look back on.
I do have a lot of memories, which is good, and like I'm obviously proud of that. But I just know like the story's not finished, and I'm always, as you mentioned before, I'm looking forward, seeing what I can do more to improve, to be better as a person on the pitch, and a player on the pitch and a person off the pitch. And you know, I've been through so many experiences now. Like, I don't know, you just you can give a lot of advice to the younger ones coming through, and you know, I'm always open, always willing to help them with that. However much they want to take on board, that's up to them. But I know, like, for me as a person, I like to help people. So if I can help in any way, shape or form, I'm there to give a lot of advice. What's
the greatest act of kindness that you've ever done?
Oh, greatest act of kindness.
Yeah, if you like to help people. Within
football.
Within football, yeah.
I don't know. I think it's hard to just pinpoint one thing.
Do you get a lot of players coming to you, younger players?
Yeah.
People who reach out to you?
Yeah. And I also see players that not necessarily just here. Like if I'm just out
or
around,
in the WhatsApp group.
In the WhatsApp group. Yeah, from out, or like people like contact me and I have conversations with them. Like I'm always there to have a conversation. Like if there's been players that have gone through difficult injuries, like they've had maybe a really tough setback, and like I've never spoke to them before, but they've contacted me, you know, and I've spoke to them. I've let them know maybe I've had the same injury, or they're maybe struggling getting back from an injury, and I'm always eager, like happy to help them.
Listening to you, it seems it's important for you to do that. It's an important part of you. You want to give that time to people, because often you hear the stereotypical, you know, description of a player who's perhaps only bothered with themselves, or you know, can be selfish. But it seems that you are quite happy to make yourself available to people who need it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like, I won't go out of my way and say like I'm available to everyone. Like,
not 24/7, but you know what I mean.
I still have my own time.
Yeah, you've got to have your own time.
But if somebody reaches out to me and I feel like I'm in a position where I can help, I'm more than willing to give them help and give them advice, and you know, like kind of tell them my story, like with the injury and how it went, or you know, players pull me, they ask me about what was it like playing for Man United, Arsenal, you know, like the top clubs.
The sort of things that I'd ask you.
And I'm there. I'm giving them the honest truth, like what it's like. And they say, "Oh, what do you think I can do to get there?" I give you the honest truth. I'm not gonna like beat around the bush, say, oh, you can get that. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it to get in there, and a lot of people just see it as, oh, you're at United and you're at Arsenal, but there's so much hard work that goes into it. Like, I mean, to play in the Premier League, you've got to be elite at what you do. You've got to have a right mentality, right mindset, and then to play for the top teams, like there's that little bit more extra. And I think when you watch City now, and you think how good they are as a team, and that little bit extra, every single detail, the smallest things, the simple things, but they're effective, and it's so good to like actually analyze them, and to actually watch them, and maybe not so great to play against them, but
try and enjoy it.
Yeah,
while you can.
But enjoy it.
Has coaching changed a lot? Has it evolved? Because playing for Sir Alex Ferguson, playing for Arsene Wenger, they left such legacies behind them. But you've worked with managers since then who, in their very own right, are elite European top coaches. Yeah. But because I guess they haven't had that legacy of Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger, it doesn't get recognised as much anymore. Mm-hmm. Would you think that's fair? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, I think to be recognised like Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger, you've got to do it over a
period of time.
Yeah, a number of years.
You don't get that time, do you, anymore?
That's not up to me, is it?
No, it's not up to you. You just do your job.
Yeah, it's been obviously it's been amazing to play under the managers that I have played underneath. Like Sir Alex was my first manager. Like, he rang me the other day after the United game.
I'll just pick that up off the floor.
No, he rang me like first thing in the morning. I'm like, damn, like it rings off no caller ID as well, so you don't know who it is. Sometimes you're like, should I pick it up? And
it's one of those.
And then you pick it up and he's like, Dan, it's your old boss. And then we have a conversation. So I think manager wise, he was like unbelievable with every single player. He knew how to handle and get the best out of them. And I think like he had sort of specialists in each area, and he just kind of delegated over them, and that's how he operated, and it was his way of getting success, and he was very successful. Whereas Arsene Wenger was different, completely different style of management, and he kind of wanted to do most of it himself, but both of them successful in their own way. And then now with the new style of new generation of manager, it's I think the first time where I came across like the new generation of manager, it was Unai Emery at Arsenal, and that's where I was like, whoa, there's so much details that he goes through, and like analyzes everything, how teams are setting up, how we're going to break them down, how we're going to build up from the back. When you get impressed from maybe two strikers, or if it's one striker and attack, there's so much detail that goes into it, like beforehand. And yeah, that was the first time where I was kind of like opened my eyes to this is a new generation of management.
How much room in your head do you have to sort of take all this information in, to remember it and articulate it in your own mind to make you the better player?
Yeah, it's hard to, I think, like, because I've done it for a number of years, like you've got the experience anyway, so it kind of comes naturally.
You absorb it then.
Yeah, you absorb it, take it in. You know your role, and like, so I had Unai, and then had Graham Potter, Roberto De Zerbi, and now Fabian, and I'm really privileged to have had these sort of managers, and yeah, they come up with the ideas that they have, to break down teams that we're coming up against. It's amazing, really. And when you see it actually coming off in the games, and the stuff that you've worked on in the midweek, building up to games, like if you're playing out from the back, or if you're up against like a low block, or if a team's defending you man for man, or if you've got an extra man, like, there's so much that goes into it that it's really, really impressive. And I don't know how to get the time to do all the meetings and all that sort of stuff. That's why I'm thinking I ain't got time for that to be a manager. I don't think they have time.
Not going down that route.
I don't know when they sleep, to be honest. I don't know when they do it.
Has it changed the way that they manage players? then this new generation of coaches and management coming through? You say that Sir Alex, obviously you're still in contact with him, he calls you up and you talk about stuff, I guess, whatever stuff that may be. But the way that they manage players differently now.
Yeah. It's not just a new generation manager, it's a new generation of player as well that you're dealing with. When I was growing up, social media wasn't, like when I was breaking through, it wasn't big. But now it's huge. And there's players
There are players that perhaps need more support maybe than others. So it's a case, I was thinking maybe if a result didn't go the way that the team wanted to, of the days of what we hear about, you in the dressing room and it all goes off and that's it. Is it a more softer approach, perhaps?
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say it is softer, yeah. But you've kind of got to know the players you're dealing with. How do you think you could get the best out of them? Whether that be, I don't know, like back in the day, you say you could be getting a or the hairdryer comes out and, that could maybe push them, to get more out of him. Whereas maybe these days it's not so much.
A calmer approach.
Yeah, a bit calmer. It's hard to be a manager, I think, like to find the balance of trying to get your ideas across and all that sort of stuff. And if it doesn't go to plan, like how do you address it? And that's down for the managers, isn't it? Like that's the job they're in. That's why they get paid the money that they get paid to manage these sort of teams and the players that you're coming up against these days.
Lastly, one of my friends who I spoke to said, I asked him to describe you and he called you evergreen. Evergreen. How long will you keep going? However long you can.
Now, do you know what? As long as I'm feeling good and I'm feeling fit, sharp, and I've still got that passion and love for the game. Like I love coming to training every day, playing football, getting out on the pitch, and the weekend. There's nothing that compares, to the adrenaline, like the build up to the game and then playing the game and trying to get them 3 points. And I love it. Developed a passion for the game since I was a little kid, and yeah, I'm still feeling really good, feeling fast, and yeah. So as long as I'm in good shape, I'm gonna keep going.
Still here.
I'm still here, of course.